Good morning and welcome to the lovely community, United Methodist Church. I'm Reverend Kevin Koch, the pastor here, and we welcome you, our mayor and our seniors. Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for this day, for those who have assembled here, for the work and for the outreach to our seniors and for the empowerment of our community. We ask your blessing upon us and bless us in all our endeavors. Bless us until our good becomes better, our better becomes best, and our best becomes blessed. Amen.
Amen. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and thank you again to Reverend Koch for welcoming us today to his wonderful facility. I convened this roundtable for city leaders and senior citizens to talk more about the opportunities at our fingertips to help support our seniors in the city of St. Louis. We heard that home repair is a top issue, and we agree. The city's Community Development Agency or administration, with investment from the American Rescue Plan funds, is streamlining and enhancing our Healthy Home Repair program, already completing more projects by the end of the summer this year than the entirety of 2022. We also heard today from our seniors about the challenges presented by the rising cost of living, especially for many on a fixed income. Senior homeowners are especially concerned about rising property values, which would make it harder for them to stay in their homes. And I know that personally too, because my dad is also a senior citizen. As the city of St. Louis works to turn back decades of disinvestment in left-behind neighborhoods, and as the NGA West campus approaches completion in North St. Louis, we need to do more to help seniors stay in their homes. Last year, in partnership with the Collector of Revenue's Office and Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, we stood up the Real Estate Tax Assistance Program, or RETAP, to help people who have fallen behind on their real estate taxes and keep their homes. And earlier this year, the state of Missouri enacted a law that gives municipalities the opportunity to freeze taxes for our seniors. Our administration is working on legislation to take advantage of that opportunity and support St. Louis seniors and support our St. Louis seniors. Our office has been in communication with stakeholders like senior advocates and aldermen around this legislation to make sure it addresses the needs of our residents. And we've been engaging schools, museums, and the zoo to ensure that any tax freeze legislation protects revenue for our public schools and critical institutions. And I want to be clear, with the expectations from the state's new law, this is more of a tax freeze than a tax break, keeping senior property values at 2024 levels to make sure that they stay in their homes. St. Charles has already enacted a property tax freeze, and working together, I believe those of us in St. Louis City government can as well. And I look forward to working with the Board of Aldermen on critical legislation to help support our seniors. Thank you, and I'll turn it over to our Assessor, Mike Dauphin.
This proposed legislation isn't something that was slapped together last minute. This is something the mayor's office has been working on since day one, and I'm really relieved to see that it's finally taken some wings and the rubber's starting to hit the road here. So there have been a lot of discussions about this bill, and it hasn't been taken lightly. And today is a perfect opportunity to get input from our seniors in the community that this bill directly affects. And we've had some questions from them. And if I may, Mayor, one of the questions that has been presented is, what are the challenges seniors in St. Louis are facing today? What are some of the programs or opportunities currently available for our seniors? And I'd like to open this up to the mayor and to Alderwoman Schweitzer, who has drafted this bill, and thank you for joining us today. But again, the question is, what are some of the challenges seniors in St. Louis are facing today, and what are some of the programs or opportunities that are currently available for our seniors?
You want to hear from me before the seniors? I think we're doing I would love to hear from them. I think that's why you all are here. I think, from talking with seniors in my community and here today already, talking about people wanting to stay in their homes and knowing that that can continue to be more expensive even if the home is completely paid off with rising property tax and with people on fixed incomes. So I think this opportunity to freeze taxes really gives us a chance to make sure our seniors are protected from rising costs that we can protect folks from. So as to what's available, the mayor did a wonderful job laying out some of the programs that the city offers, that other agencies offer within the city of St. Louis and around our state. But we know there's more to do, and it's not enough. So I think that's where this comes in terms of figuring out how to create a bill that works for seniors in the city of St. Louis. Every bill that occurs in this state could be very different. The state's law that was passed at the Senate Bill 190 is vague. So I think what we want to do in our challenge here today is to figure out what does it need to look like in St. Louis for the people who are in St. Louis, who've lived here for a long time and want to stay here for a long time. So, my goal today is really to hear from the folks who took time out of their day to come and talk with us. And I appreciate you all doing that.
Thank you, Alderwoman, and you're exactly right. I would like to open this up to our community members that have been so gracious to join us here today.
I would like, I'm very grateful for this bill. I'm a civil head legislator, and I just got an award for being a civil head legislator for 25 years. I was the oldest one, oldest. And, but we were so happy that we worked on many bills and passed. We're getting ready for our 50th anniversary in Jeff City on the 17th to the 19th. But this is something that we have worked on for probably 10 years, and it's statewide, trying to freeze taxes, real estate taxes for seniors who want to maintain themselves in their home in the city or the state or wherever they live in. And once you reach fixed income, when the neighborhood you live in is constantly being developed and your taxes is going up, the taxes outgrow your fixed income. And all we asking is to freeze it at 62, and until we move out, sell the house or whatever. And once we vacate the property, the taxes go back. It's not that the senior citizens are not paying taxes. I pay $4,000 a year tax, real estate tax. And I can't tell you where it came from 30-something years ago to where it is now. But every time they build something in the neighborhood, if the taxes continue to go up, it's gonna outgrow my fixed income and many others. So it's not that we are not paying taxes. We want to pay taxes. You're still gonna be receiving those taxes by January the 1st. But we can't continue to try to pay it out of fixed income when the taxes continue to rise. And I'm so happy that I'm grateful to the governor for signing. We had to get several legislators to sponsor the bill, and he did. I think he signed it July 1, the governor, right? And I'm grateful. But that was we worked on this for 4 or 5 years, and I'm just happy that St. Charles and some other cities around the state have started using this bill. And now we have, thanks to the mayor, and I'm glad that the Board of Aldermen is going to endorse this bill, and we will freeze our taxes for the seniors, and they don't have to move out of their home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stewart. Did anyone else want to add to that? Please.
I would like to add, and thank you so very much for inviting me and sharing this with me. Along with the majority of the seniors are on fixed incomes, and many times what we forget about, let alone the taxes on that home, we also have to have homeowners insurance. So we don't think about all those other things that go into maintaining your home. And just recently, I was talking with my insurance broker as, are you kidding me?
That's right.
With these homeowners insurance,
That's right.
That's something that we don't have any control over. You either get it or to be safe, and if you don't have it, something happens. Case in point, many of the storms that we had this past summer, I had roof damage, and had it not for me having that homeowner's insurance, I would have been stuck. And that is the issue with so many of the seniors now. You have the taxes with this legislation, that gives us a little hope that everything isn't going up. Food is going up. Inflation is out the roof. And many times, like I said, we forget about that homeowner's insurance, that if you don't have it, you are up the creek without a paddle. So thank you for at least freezing them. And the thing about freezing, you're not saying that you're abating them, you're getting away with it. You are just freezing it. Thank you for freezing.
Thank you. We hear you. We appreciate your input. Did anyone else want to add to that?
Well, I too want to thank you for freezing the taxes for seniors, those of us who are 62 and older. It's, again, as as everyone has said, it's going to make a tremendous difference. Because yes, again, we have the continuous home repairs, the insurance, utilities, everything is going off the roof. And so, yeah, it's very, very much appreciated and needed in this city if you're going to keep seniors in the city and in their homes. So,
Mr. Powell.
Finally gets me. Hey, I would like to also thank you for bringing forth this bill, and certainly it's needed. We as seniors watch things change over the years, and yet we are still fighting from behind the 8 ball. We are grateful for holding taxes at a level that we can afford. Neighborhoods change. I live in the O'Fallon Park neighborhood. Pretty soon, that's going to be developed. And I'm sure taxes are going to start going up, property values are going to go up, you know, all the things that are coming into the north side. That's the African-American community. And so any assistance that can be received is appreciated and needed. I don't know why, if I could say, in America, we should be championing the old. The old. You know, they say to me sometimes, "How you doing, young man?" That's like an insult almost. That's not good. We should do whatever we could do for the seniors, for those who have paid taxes all their lives, done all the right things, and yet they get to be older and they get overwhelmed because it all changes so quick.
it's changing.
You know, and you say, wow, where do we go from here? So I thank you. I think it's needed. I think it should go national, that older people, you pick the age, whatever you call homeowners, put all the great regulations to it. But wouldn't that be great? You know, it almost be like going to heaven. You know, so thank you.
No, that's a great point, and I appreciate it. And practically, I suspect when this thing's administrated through the assessor's office, we'll have a lot more folks being proud to be senior citizens if they know that they get to freeze part of their tax bill. So you're exactly right, and thank you for your input, all of you. Was there any other questions or anything else you wanted to add that we haven't gone through today? I really appreciate all the unique points that all of you have offered.
Assessors, now, when do we file our application? Do we have to do something at the assessor's office to make sure that we get the tax credit?
That's a great question, and the bill isn't finalized as far as I know. I've been working with Alderwoman Schweitzer in the mayor's office for like I said, the last few years on trying to iron this bill out. The bill isn't totally finalized, but as far as the application process goes, It will probably be submitted through the assessor's office, the way that the last draft of the bill that was submitted as I read it. It would be a form that my office is going to create, and actually the mayor's office already created some of these templates, and it will be forms that you'll be able to find on our website, probably on the collector's website, probably on the mayor's website. You know, with as much work that all the stakeholders have put into this, I don't think you're going to have any problem finding that document, and we'll be happy to make sure you know of it. And there will be all kinds of public information that will be coming out with that. So thank you.
So what did that mean when the governor signed off on the bill in July 1?
I'm sorry?
The governor signed the bill July 1.
The governor signed the bill, and in Senate Bill 190, as I understand it, it's in effect, but in order for it to be in effect, each county has to create an ordinance to basically enact Senate 190 or to adopt it. And in the event that there was an administration or a county that didn't have the appetite to do this, there is a mechanism for the voters to bring this to the ballot if the county wasn't going to do an ordinance. But here we have our county officials and the mayor's office working hard to draft this legislation. And then once that gets through, I'm sure there will be a blitz of public information on how to make sure you and the rest of the seniors in the city can utilize this legislation. All right? Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, with that, those are the only questions that we have here today. I think they answered all of them, and they all had very unique points. We appreciate you offering your input.
We just like to thank
Yes.
you for coming and
thank you for having us.
the opportunity for our seniors to address questions related to the bill. And we would hope that if there could be some kind of retroactive date as of when the governor actually signed. I think that would be appreciated by the seniors as well. If effective as of.
I think it freezes taxes at 2023 or.
2023, you're right, Mayor. Yeah.
It does.
And it freezes them for any eligible senior citizen in 23. Is that right, Alderman?
It's the date someone turns 62. So if you are 62 in 2023, that is your first year. That's what we have been talking through. And I think that, you know, I'm a procedural person, so it's important right now to remember that this bill is in draft form. That's why we're talking to you now, as opposed to when the bill's final. It's like, oh yeah, did you all have any thoughts on this? So, you know, getting your input, hearing what you think, I appreciate what you all said, I've taken some notes. The bill will then be introduced at the Board of Aldermen. The Board of Aldermen has committee hearings on the bill. I know you all probably know this, but for anyone, you know, watching this later at home, there's committee hearings on the bill, there's more opportunities for input, opportunities for amendments if needed, and more just time to talk about it. And then it goes through the perfection process at the board, so the full board weighs in, and then through final passage and being signed by the mayor. So I want to set up that timeline for you all, that as to where we are with the bill. I think that's really important.
So what day will we be coming up? We seniors will be coming down to the Board of Aldermen.
Oh, we will let you know.
All right.
You will be there, and you will all be invited, and very, very, very grateful to hear from you.
So is the bill going to be income-based at all, or is it just across the board for seniors who are 62 and up? Is there any?
Statewide.
I mean, this is municipality. Municipalities get to do what they do. So.
Well, what's your input on that? I mean, that's really part of what we're talking about too. You know, everything's really on the table right now. Municipalities are doing it a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
I saw that St. Louis County has, you know, a expiration date. You know, there's different things municipalities are doing. So this is really, if you have thoughts on that, this is the moment to share them.
Well, I don't know. I think I do have some income-based considerations needed.
You would want to see income-based requirements.
Right. I would, you know, but, you know, so yeah. And also if people move into the city, you know, they hear we're gonna have free taxes for people 62 and under, and they move in the city, they buy a house, because the houses are cheap pretty much right now in North City, right? And, you know, to come in and get their taxes frozen, and, well, that's a good thing, but they make a lot of money, so, hey, we paid our fair share, let's, you know, so I don't know, I'm just asking
No, I
the question.
appreciate
I
that.
really,
That's
really
it's
don't
important.
know,
Yeah.
but I'm just wondering if it is gonna be, you know, income-based.
Thank you for that.
Because
insight.
we have a lot, you know, we do have some people in this city who have some real money.
Right.
Okay, so,
Right, and one of the things, we realize that, we realize that there are million-dollar homes.
Yes.
Within the city, and so we are trying to, make provisions, we're looking at either income limit or appraised value limit, right? Because, what we don't want to happen is for the city to freeze taxes for millionaires, and then all of a sudden, we don't have enough money to pay our bills and to provide basic services.
Right.
So, we're looking at several different provisions and limits, that would, so we won't have those sort of adverse, impacts.
right, because not all things are equal,
No, that's not.
so.
Well, when we was started on the bill many years ago, the civil election, we was talking about senior, low-income senior citizens that have retired and have lots of bills to pay.
Right.
So they was
Yeah.
based on that, and it was based statewide. We got him put statewide, because first, the civil legislation was statewide.
Right.
Was nationwide. And, we have heard lots of complaints that seniors want to stay in their home, they cannot stay in their home on fixed income. And I'm for one, I'm 91. I still want to
Yes,
stay in
yes,
my home.
yes, I know that's right.
Like you were-
Will there be other opportunities for the seniors to come forth with their opinions, or will it be like, you know, another roundtable, or not necessarily a roundtable, but how can the seniors continue the input? Because I know some seniors that would have been glad to be here, but I didn't find out about it until late, thankfully.
Sure.
So when will others be able to give their input?
I would say in today's day and age, you can reach out to us pretty much anytime. You
Okay.
know, I mean, we all have email addresses, you know, every social media you could think of, phone numbers. Never hesitate to reach out to your local government, ever. But that said, in terms of official meetings that will happen, at the very least, the bill will have a committee hearing in which public input will be taken. A bill cannot leave the committee of the Board of Aldermen without having an opportunity for public input. That's part of our rules. So that will be one of the opportunities coming up. There will be opportunities for both written comment and in-person comment at that time. You know, we're still gathering input at the very formation stage. So if anyone who wants to give input on that, please reach out. Please have them reach out. I'll give you my card. And, you know, that's the time for the information. But until a bill passes out of perfection at the board, it can still have amendments made. So, you know, there are several weeks ahead, at least, of getting input.
And for what it's worth, this isn't necessarily the first meeting that we've had about this. Alderwoman Schweitzer and I are at neighborhood meetings on a weekly basis, and we often overlap, and I see her and she sees me. But, you know, ever since this was introduced, I've been hearing community input from folks at neighborhood organizations and the neighborhood meetings. So a lot of what has gone into this proposed legislation is stuff that we've already heard from the community. But it's a great question, and there will be more opportunities, and we appreciate you showing up here today. But we are listening, and we want to hear all the input we can. And then with that, one issue that's come up a lot with this, with the senior tax freeze, are home repairs and cost of home repairs that a lot of seniors have to endure. And, you know, we're lucky here today. We have Noel Pfeffer, who is the the Director of the Community Development Administration, and he's here to share a little more information on the opportunities our seniors have for home repair opportunities. Noel?
Thank you, Assessor, and thank you, Mayor. And thank you, all of you, for engaging. And it's just great to see the robust dialogue over policy questions like retroactivity and whether there's a means test or not. And it's just great to see. And thank you also, Alderwoman, for your commitment to that engagement throughout this process. I want to share a brief update on the city's home repair program. Earlier, the Board of Aldermen appropriated $15 million in ARPA funds to expand the program. And we have used these funds to significantly strengthen and expand the program. Thus far, this year to date, we've served 282 homeowners. That's compared to 155 homeowners who we served last year. We've spent $3.2 million compared to the $2 million that we spent on home repairs last year. This is an average of a little over $10,000 per home repair, and these are big home repairs, roof replacements, collapsed sewer laterals, HVAC, electrical panels, et cetera, that are really essential to helping seniors age in place and preserving the fabric of our neighborhoods and preventing vacancy. We've done this acceleration also by, with ARPA funds, waiving certain procedural requirements in terms of Section 106 review, and also critically through contractor recruitment. We've expanded our pool of contractors from about 50 to around 70, and I want to thank the mayor as well as SLDC for their commitment to really getting out in the community and conducting this recruitment. We're not done, though. We have a few steps left to go to expand the program even further. We have an RFP out now looking for additional contractors to come on board, and we are also working to launch a website that will allow folks to apply more easily, although we will always retain our paper-based process as well. And that website will be launching in early '24. So happy to answer any questions about it, and just want to share that update that we are translating this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with ARPA funds into really expanded scaling our home repair program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, I do. If I found that I'm in zip code 3104, and I haven't been able to get any funding because they said the zip code is the high income, will that make any difference?
It does not. The eligibility basis to qualify for the program is based solely on the individual homeowner's household income as well as the ownership. The two eligibility requirements are that you own the home and that you are under 80% AMI. 80% AMI for an individual is about $53,000. For a family of four, it's about $75,000.
Thank you very much. I have a consumer meeting every second Wednesday, and we've been dealing with the utilities company. I would love to invite you to one of our meetings.
I'd be delighted to attend.
Great. Thank you.
Is there a database available so that you can identify some of those seniors within the context of the city so that you can approach them over against them seeking you out always?
We don't currently have that capability. We do have an internal database of everyone who has applied to the program. I can tell you that as of this morning, we have 981 individuals on our wait list. So we do have a large volume of folks that we need to serve and that we are working to serve. But ideally, it would be great to allow us to reach out proactively. But if there's anyone who needs help, send them our way, and we can connect them into the system.
I would also just like to mention that the St. Louis Area Agency on Aging is part of the City of St. Louis's Department of Human Services, and we provide home-delivered meals, also called Meals on Wheels, to about 2,000 people that are homebound on a weekly basis. So we would be happy to send out a flyer about the program to all of those recipients to help get the word out.
idea.
Thank you, Ms. Stover, and thank you, St. Louis Area Agency on Aging, for all the good work that you do.
Yes. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning for this roundtable. We have some good issues raised that we can take back for the further drafting of the legislation. I want to thank Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer, who's actually sponsoring the bill, for joining us this morning, as well as staff from the City of St. Louis. So this won't be the last time you hear from us. And please reach out if you have any additional questions, either about this or any other programs with the City of St. Louis that help our seniors stay in their homes and age in place. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today for an issue that's near and dear to my heart. Not only am I a mayor, but I am a daughter first, daughter of who I think is the most wonderful dad. But he is also a senior, and so as he gets older, an issue that's important to me is how do we change our policies so seniors like him can age in place and stay in their homes? So we talked about the property tax relief that was passed by the Missouri legislature today, and how we're going to pass enabling legislation on the local level, sponsored by Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer, to take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for our seniors to freeze their taxes for many, many years to come. We also talked about issues that are important. As Ms. Ali and I were having a conversation before we started, we talked about the lack of availability of assisted living facilities within our city. And someone that's near and dear to both of us, the only option that she had was to go way to Chesterfield when she was having to make some end of life choices. So those are also some issues that we should be working on as well. Making sure that there are places that are affordable within city limits so our seniors who have lived in the city for many years don't have to go all the way to town and country or Chesterfield to live out their last days. But I also want to acknowledge the presence of Alderwoman Laura Keys and give her an opportunity to address you. Alderwoman Keys?
Thank you. Good morning. I am especially happy to hear that there is some relief coming for our seniors, but we know that more is needed, more is really required. The senior citizens just are truly, truly near and dear to my heart. Both of my parents are gone on to glory, but in my ward, we have many, many constituents who are at that 60 plus, 70, 80, 90 years old, and they are struggling. And I have gone and done home visits with many of them and had to swallow back tears when I see the conditions that many of them are living in. No one in their winter years should have to live the way that some of our seniors, particularly North, are existing. And every opportunity that can be provided to give them some respite, some assistance is greatly appreciated.